I don't know. I mean, I think we still have something to say. I mean, look, 30 years ago, like all these bands that came out of Germany, oh, you know, 3 or 4 of them, they continued to release records, Sodom, Creator, Destruction, and they have a big back catalog. We only recorded 2 records, so at that point, you know, we're not finished, you know. So if you look at it that way, I think we definitely have something to say. Otherwise, Fire and Damnation wouldn't have sounded the way it sounds. So I think that's the strongest, the strongest point and message that we can bring to the table is that we recorded classic records in the 80s, and we're going to continue doing that in the 2000s. You know, so yeah, I mean, again, if Fire and Damnation would have been a weak offering, I don't think we would be sitting here and talking to you right now. We would pass everybody by. Nobody would care, and we certainly wouldn't be released by a metal label. I mean, you don't get on the label just because you put out mediocre music. You just don't. So, brand or not, I mean, we look at Exumer as a brand, like everybody, all the other bands do, but you can't have weak music or mediocre music attached to the brand. So it always have, the record's got to be powerful, and the live show's got to be powerful. So yeah, I mean, I can speak in the 80s, but I think like Matthias is a lot younger than us, so he might be able to speak about how it has been in the past 10 years or so. For us in the 80s, it was a new thing, right? And the same thing, like Tony grew up in the States, so there was something of like a new movement, and everything felt like you quite didn't know what it was, but it was bigger than any of its parts. So, you know, then Metallica was still small, and, you know, bands in Germany knew each other, so everybody was kind of doing stuff, and they knew about it, and it was very exciting. But, you know, it's different now. I don't know, like maybe, you know, like, I mean, there was a community, but I don't know, I mean, it's a lot more business today to me. But
it's a lot more business, but I still think there's a community. It's like going to a bar, you know, you might meet some people that you're okay with, you talk to them, you drink with them, you have party with them, you become friends with them, and there are other people's you don't care about, and they don't care about you. It's the same with, we are on tour with several bands. There are bands that we are okay with, we talk with them, they talk to us. It's all about respect, we showing our respect, they do the same to us, and then there are bands that just don't care, so in the end then we don't care. But there's still a community, I think.
It's just different, I think, because now things are very fast. Back then they weren't as fast, so back then maybe I would check out a band from the States and and they have a demo, but now I have to wait for 3 weeks to come through the mail, you know? Today you just push a button and you have like all their demos and all the things that they did prior to the demo, and like every artist who's involved in the band's demo, like, you know, it's different. So I think the banding together back then, because of, you know, everybody who was involved in the scene back then knew, you know, it was precious to get certain things, and it was, and he grew up, tell him, like in a remote area in New Jersey. So
pretty remote area, so had to go a little further to get the good records, or I did a lot of ordering stuff, but I was close enough to go to New York City, where I live now, to go to famous clubs, L'Amour's and these clubs that had thrash bands, obviously. So we could see certain stuff. Probably not as much stuff that he actually got, but most of it. Like we would get the States bands, and then maybe not the cooler abstract European bands that would go to Germany, but then I come to New York at that early stage. Like your Celtic Frost or Merciful Fate. It came a little later, but here they already were able to see that. So, but we could go to that, and there was a community of people, and it was
the same thing, vice versa. We were waiting for the bands from the States, you know. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely different in the 80s. But I'm not knocking her. I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's just different. in the States nor in Europe, but in South America.
Mexico, South America.
Yeah, Central America and South America is definitely our market. And funny enough, I think it starts when you go to the West Coast in the United States. It starts there, and then it just goes Central America, South America, wherever you want to go. You know, like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I look at the stats, let's say on Facebook. I mean, we do have a good amount of North American fans. I don't want to say that. Europe is different, you know, like there are pockets where we're really, really popular, and then there are places we get there and we, in our minds, we're like, whoa, it's going to be fantastic. We're going to have a sold-out show tonight and people are going to go nuts. And there's like 100 people or something, you know, like you don't know. And then we go to a place where like, I don't know why we're going there, but the promoter gave us, you know, he paid for the tickets and we gotta go. So we get there and it's insane. So you don't really know with Europe. But I mean, with South America, wherever we go, we're great. Like, we're taken care of. And the same, we played in Los Angeles and we had no idea what was going on. And we were just telling the guy what we need, and it's a big laundry list of stuff, you know, and it costs a lot of money, and we're not assholes, you know, we don't want people to lose money and stuff, you know, and I kept on telling to the guy, you know, like, hey, you sure about this? You know, and then we go there, and there's a laundry list of opening acts, and we're like, it's a festival, I'm like, okay. And then there was 1,300 people going totally bananas, you know, like, so you don't know. But fair to say, I think we have a good standing on the West Coast. The East Coast is not necessarily a metal mecca, you know. It starts with New York. New York City is more, it's not a metal town. It's an indie rock place, you know, with bands, a lot of bands coming from Williamsburg. So the scene is different, you know. But if you go to the West Coast, it's definitely metal. It will be the 4th Exumer record. We don't, you know, what we do is we look at the records, it will be another classic Exumer album. We don't put out any crappy records. And it will sound exactly like what you expect from another Exumer record. So it will be definitely a logical step up. Most likely, yeah. I mean, there's no reason not to work with it. But definitely, like,
in the end, sometimes it's not our decision. So
Right.
we surely will ask him, but sometimes
He might have a project.
Yeah.
schedules.
it's not even the money. It's
Yeah,
more
no.
about
Last time when we worked with him, it was like, we have to look where we can book our studio time because they are coming from New York. We have to see where we can rehearse.
It's not so easy.
And the last time it was like they came over, we had 1 week for bass guitar and vocals, and then Molnar flew out to Greece or something to produce his next project. So after this, we had to wait until he comes back to mix the record. So
It's not easy.
It's not that easy. So we surely will ask Molnar, and we will see if it works out. But it would be great, of course.
Yeah, we want to come to France.
Yeah.
We want to play in France. But we don't know if we have many fans there. I mean, whoever wants to come and see us, you know, definitely. You know, it's a cool country. I'm sure they enjoy our brand of Thrash. Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.